Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for our second session of our proceedings. As you know, we are busy with the revealing of our sixth generation of Isuzu. 40 years. Now that is a very long time. And during the presentation, I'll give you a bit of a glimpse back in time, going back 40 years, and looking at the 5 generations of Isuzu that we've had. You stand between them. As you can see here, all 5 previous generations are represented. So here we are in a deep African bush. We thought we could give you a bit of a treat, the big 5. Let us start at the beginning, the year 1972. It was the year that Arno Karstens, lead singer of the rock group Springbok Nude Girls, as well as the South African rugby icons Osti Rand and Percy Montgomery were born. This year also saw the Watergate scandal rocking America, Bloody Sunday in Ireland, the Munich Summer Olympic massacre, Atari that kicks off with Pong, the first arcade version that became a commercial success. The tea house Mellow Yellow opens on the Amstel River in the Netherlands, pioneering the legal sale of cannabis. South Africa converted to the metric system. Liters, kilometers, liters, somewhere along the line people got confused, and it was a very confusing time for especially the older folk. Pick and Pay showed us what is a supermarket. Tommy Overstreet was top of the pops with Heaven is a Woman's Love, being the #1 song on Springbok radio for a consecutive 7 weeks. Steve Biko was banned by the government. Europe and African states imposed an oil embargo on South Africa. The Godfather with Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, and James Caan kept young and old going to the drive-in cinema. Barbra Streisand and Ryan O'Neal kept us laughing with What's Up Doc. Heartbreak Steve McQueen was the hero in The Getaway. The Temptations kept Papa Was a Rolling Stone on everyone's lips. And Ford, Jackson and Jill had everyone in South Africa singing Timothy.
Timothy, you're just the guy for me. I look into your eyes, do I see truthful lies? My heart cries out for love, but are you thinking of the day that
Isuzu South Africa's history goes back to March 1972, when the first Isuzu one-tonner was launched, then badged as the Chevrolet SUV, better known as the Chevy Love. Now there is a prime example. Local production in Port Elizabeth began in October 1972, and in 1977, the first diesel-powered models were added to the range. Like the African buffalo, the Isuzu is also a very robust species. In 1979, the range was expanded to include four-wheel drive variants that coincided with the adoption of the Isuzu KB branding. And the world wasn't standing still, for better or for worse. One of the changes that were going to stay changed was the emergence of Isuzu as a brand name. The second generation came out in 1981. The African leopard exhibits great variation in coat color, depending on location and habitat. African leopards used to occur in most of sub-Saharan Africa, occupying both rainforest and arid desert habitats. They appear to be successful at adapting to altered natural habitat and settled environments, like the KB. While the Rolling Stones got us all singing to Start Me Up, Ronald Reagan became the president of the USA. Phil Collins told us that he was in the air tonight, and 7,500 runners took part in the first London Marathon. The first space shuttle was launched, while John Lennon and Yoko Ono brought women to our radios. Peter Sutcliffe was sentenced to jail as the Yorkshire Ripper, and the first recognized victim of AIDS was identified. Donkey Kong was released, marking the first Mario game produced, and Prince Charles married Lady Diana, and the whole world was in a romantic bliss. Burt Reynolds did the Cannonball Run, and Ben Cross ran his heart out in Chariots of Fire. South African troops invaded Angola, while Muhammad Ali fought his last fight. The first test tube baby was born in America, and Bishop Desmond Tutu was arrested and his passport confiscated. As the Leopard, the second generation Isuzu has adapted itself. It was not only beautifully styled, but the cab was roomier as well. It was with this second generation that local input was given to improve on the suspension design to suit our roads. The brakes were brilliant, and a new load box was introduced. This was a double-skinned load box, making it much tougher than before. Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark would have approved. Many will fondly remember the samurai adverts assigned to this model, just showing how tough this bucky really was. The third generation Isuzu KB was introduced in 1989.
God?
The lion has been an icon for humanity for thousands of years, appearing in cultures in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Despite incidents of attacks on humans, lions have enjoyed a positive depiction in culture as strong but noble. A common depiction is their representation as king of the jungle or king of the beasts. Hence, the lion has been a popular symbol of royalty and stateliness. The bold face of the third generation Isuzu really stood out from the competition. As on this red example here, the chrome grille and distinctive cab became an icon for many bucky lovers, a true symbol of royalty. 1989 also saw Madonna topping the chart with Like a Prayer.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there.
The mighty Soviet Empire fell, ending the Cold War that existed for many years. The World Wide Web was launched, and the first text messages sent. Ronald Reagan says farewell to the American presidency and was replaced by George H.W. Bush. Ted Bundy was executed, and P.W. Botha met Nelson Mandela for the first time. Salman Rushdie goes into hiding after publishing the Satanic Verses, and the B-2 stealth bomber takes to the air. The first GPS satellite was launched. Exxon Valdez spilled oil, and Rain Man won the Academy Awards for the best film. John Bon Jovi sings that I'll Be There For You. Roxette rocks the charts with The Look. And Disney brought happiness to many parents, creating The Mermaids. F.W. de Klerk becomes the last president of apartheid South Africa. Nelson Mandela was released from prison, and the ANC's ban was lifted, and the Isuzu double cab was born. The third generation Isuzu led the way in comfort, ride and handling. Again we saw the South African and Japanese engineers working together in the development of the new model. A lot of attention to detail was given to small things, like a 3-fold door seal to keep dust out of the huge cab, improvements to the load bed, the new 5-speed gearbox, and the fitment of a real differential lock were also made. The ride height also grew, which is just proper for royalty.
She's got the look. Fire in the eyes, naked to the bone as a lover's disguise, banging on the head drum, shaking.
The fourth generation. The two African species, the white rhinoceros and the black rhinoceros, originated in the Middle Miocene. That was about 14.2 million years ago. Just as the rhinoceros, the Isuzu have been with us for many years. The fourth generation showed itself in 1997. Leonardo DiCaprio was on top of the world in Titanic. Men in Black fought nasty aliens, and Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, topped the charts with I'll Be Missing You. In Scotland, man successfully cloned a sheep named Dolly. Tony Blair became Britain's newest Prime Minister, and the world chess champion Garry Kasparov was beaten by an IBM computer. The fourth generation Isuzu showcased improved aerodynamics, better insulation from noise, vibration and harshness in the cab, and a more comfortable double cab version with air conditioning, power steering, center locking and alarm as standard equipment. An upgraded 2.8-litre diesel engine was offered, which was replaced later by a more powerful 3-litre diesel developing 96 kilowatt. Hong Kong was handed back to the People's Republic of China. Princess Diana died in a horrible car crash in Paris, and Elton John composed the tribute song Candle in the Wind, ending at number 4 on the top 40 of the year. Andy Green set the first supersonic land speed record for the Trust SSC team at an average speed of 1,227 kilometers an hour. Isuzu introduced their first V6 petrol model with a capacity of 3.2 liters in the range. The engine developed a massive 140 kilowatts in both 4x2 and 4x4 versions. At the end of the scale, there was the very economically 250D, developing 58 kilowatts. This engine is still one of the very best engines developed, especially for the commercial fleet market. Eugene Terblanche was convicted of attempted murder and went to jail. Winnie Madikizela Mandela was overwhelmingly re-elected as the National Congress's Women's League president by 656 votes to 114. The African National Congress held their 50th National Conference in Mafeking, and that was the time when Isuzu was the number 1 selling bakkie in South Africa. Isuzu also became involved in the very successful Operation Rachel in Mozambique at that time. Aqua sang Barbie Girl as we approached the last years of the new millennium.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go for a ride?
Sure, Ken.
Jump in.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
The 5th generation Isuzu. Elephants are herbivores and can be found in different habitats, including savannas, forests, deserts, and marshes. They are considered to be keystone species due to their impact on the environment. That sounds very much like the Isuzu, released in 2004. While South Africans celebrated 10 years of democracy, Usher rocked the music world with Yay.
Peace up, A-Town down. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Usher, Usher, Usher. Let's go.
Many women swooned over Brad Pitt and Orlando Bloom in Troy, while DreamWorks brought out their second installment of Shrek and the acclaimed Shark Tale. The new Isuzu came in 3 body styles, a single, double and extended cab version. Diesel engines were upgraded across the range to the new 2.5 and 3-litre D-Tech engines. These engines were not only more powerful than those they replaced, but also more fuel economical and with lower emissions. A 2.4 petrol engine also replaced the previous 2.6 engine in the series. Ben Stiller met the Fockers, and Beyoncé told everyone that she's a naughty girl. South Africa excelled in swimming in the Athens Olympics, and we say goodbye to Brenda Fassie, our own acclaimed queen.
This is for you, Mama. I know I miss you. I miss you so much. Mama, rest in peace. You'll always be in my heart. Mama, God bless your soul. I know that you're in your hands. Life ain't easy without you, Mama.
In the new KB, the 4x4 derivatives came with a dashboard-mounted push-button switchgear and shift-on-the-fly capability. Isuzu joined forces with SADC for Operation Mandume, which helped clear arms and landmines in Angola and northern Namibia. The whole world was in rapture with the newly launched social network called Facebook, and we all sat horrified as the tsunami devastated Thailand and its surrounds on Boxing Day. Isuzu D-Tech took part in the 72-hour endurance challenge and rewrites numerous South African speed and distance records. A special edition KB72 was launched to commemorate these achievements. Isuzu also launched the Isuzu Off-Road Academy, which aims to teach Isuzu owners the necessary skills to enjoy their vehicles to their fullest. Off-road, game reserves, adventure trails, and wilderness places. Isuzu also became involved at the South African Ironman competition as official support vehicle. 5 generations of Isuzu, 4 decades, a magnificent legacy of toughness, reliability, and a superb reputation as one of the truly great South African vehicles. And now, building on its traditional values, comes a new Isuzu, more handsome, more rugged, and with barrier-breaking technology and engineering, taking the proud Isuzu brand and its drivers far beyond the unknown. Isuzu is all about taking the road less traveled, and for all these years, this great vehicle has been pushing boundaries, turning South Africa's perceptions about a bakkie is a bakkie into the awareness that a bakkie can be a thing of beauty, inside and out. Changing the face of our great South African lifestyle, turning dreams into reality for people from all walks of life. This new Isuzu KB is too brilliant for words. Now, as we know only too well, Isuzu delivers. And this new one is going to deliver plenty of everything: engineering, guts, grunt, power, comfort, status, everything. This truly is a great new South African bakkie. It's immensely proud of its ancestry, but it is taking the Isuzu bakkie to places it's never been before. And I'm incredibly proud to be associated with this magnificent pickup. Isuzu really is the bakkie specialists. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6th generation Isuzu family.